the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good Sunday evening, race fans. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network and our live coverage of the Down and Dirty Outlaw 360 Sprint Car Series. hosting things up tonight at Lanier Speedway. I got about 18 drivers checked in for this thing. Take a quick look at our points while we have it. I think we still have them up somewhere. We did have them up. Yeah, here we go. There they are. Cameron Pritchard, 20 points ahead of Titan Vanderwerk. Then Greg Leonard, Miles Jansen, and Bowen Smith sit third and tied for fourth. Tyler Street, Kellen Sabo, Jeff Creamer, Dean Garrity, and Scott Reed rounding out top 10 in points. Really a two-dog fight with 3 races to go. Give you fans an opportunity to do something I've never heard of before. And I got to laugh a little bit because they're going to let you guys vote on where they're going to race next. So you're going to get an opportunity to tell these drivers if they're going to Williams Grove or Cedar Lake for the next round of the series. Only 3 races left tonight, next week, and December the 11th. Going to wrap things up. But before these guys get ready to go to their qualifying session, we're going to get our pre-race ceremonies out of the way. So let's take a trackside for tonight's invocation and national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All righty, big thank you to the Foley boys. As always, for our opening ceremonies, just waiting for a couple more drivers maybe to get set in and pulled up into the pits and ready to go here. 18 in the server at this moment. Do not forget about tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Dominic Santana will be back on the call. He will have the Dirt Slingers Monday Night Thunder 360 wing sprint cars. They are right back here. Right here at Lanier. Round number 5 of that series. We'll follow that up with the 360 wingless sprint cars, the Monday night series. So a double header for you as we get a full week of racing in next week. Watching a handful of different drivers as they are out getting some warm-up laps in. Getting things ready to go. Getting a word from race control. Looks like we are getting ready to go. "60 seconds are going to advance. Get ready for qualifying." We will watch qualifying. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you were here for Thursday night's race. The Paul Nichols Memorial. That was the second annual running of that event, and another 200 lapper in the street stocks right here at Lanier. It seems like we've been here for a while, but nonetheless, a fantastic race. I know the drivers had a lot of fun. We saw some new faces, new names, and a ton of good racing. Watched one driver lead all 200 laps and pick up the win. And I know the guys up at the High Banks have been working pretty hard at getting all the prizes squared away and ready to go out for all those drivers. So everybody will be taken care of in short order on that deal. After you do those big events, sometimes it takes a little while for things to get taken care of, but I know that they will. Like I said, you got a doubleheader tomorrow night, and then Wednesday night, doubleheader once again. You'll have Dirt Slingers Elite Invitational 410 Series. And ADS will have their 360 Winged Sprint Car Series. And then we're going to go singles show on Thursday for you. Elite Performance Industries Hoosier Open Wheel Series for 10 wingless sprint cars on Thursdays. I guess the Midwest guys did not race tonight. They must have had a bye week. So, fans, do not forget to chime in and let them know where you want them to race next week. Your choices are Williams Grove or Cedar Lake. Let's get up here. Let's watch Josh Whiteman on his qualifying attempt, and then we'll jump to some other drivers. We're going to go watch Miles Jansen for a lap here. Williams Grove or Cedar Lake are the two choices. Those are the only two choices. So Jansen quickly goes to the top. 11:64. That's not far off of his practice time. And 11:65. Almost an identical time. Greg Leonard, second quick right now. Let's go see Cameron Pritchard. Not on track yet. At least I don't see Pritchard out there rolling around. Let's go watch Wheeler. Howe jumps to fifth. There, Tyler Street goes to the top on the end of his second lap, 11:57, so barely besting Miles Jansen. Jansen was at 60. Coulter West on track right now. West not scoring a time that last time around. Let's see what he does on this lap. Looks like a pretty good one. Went in, used the slider line, both ends. Coulter West up to fifth quick. Ty Williams jumps to third. That's moving drivers around pretty quickly on here. I still do not see Cameron Pritchard. I see Dean Garrity has made it out to the racing surface. So let's see what Garrity can do. On the clock with his first lap. Looks like he is going to stay about 3/4 of the way up the track. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. He's going to go just a touch higher. Now we might see him use that inside line, try to really get a lap in as he built up a bunch of momentum. He'll go right back to the bottom, in on the slider line, out through the top of 14. Garrity was 15th quick on his first lap. He's going to jump to 7th quick, and Cameron Pritchard was 5th quick in the warm-up session. First lap around, he's going to keep it up by the fence. Build that momentum. Now he'll cut it in, go through the middle, try to come out right in the middle. I think he lost a little momentum there. He was 17th quick, a half second off. Let's see what he picks up to here. That did not look like a lap fast enough to put him on top, and it is 11:54, 3/100ths of a second. So great lap for Cameron Pritchard. I thought going through the middle on the entry on 1 and 2 would slow him down just a little bit, but he actually a half second quicker on his second lap. So Pritchard keeps things hot in the 21 pits. He moves right up there. Connor Darnell, 5th quick on his first lap. And his second lap looking like a 64. Just a touch quicker than his first, but not enough to move him on the pylon. So 18 cars took time. And Cameron Pritchard is going to be your quick qualifier for the evening. So Rowdy chimes in. He wants to see him at Cedar Lake. I am sure that the admins here at Down and Dirty are going to be watching. They're going to be watching for those votes. So make sure you get yours in. And let the fans pick where we get to broadcast from and race from next week. Cedar Lake or Williams Grove. Those are the only 2 choices, as we are going to get ready to roll our first heat out. They're going to line up like this. Going to be the 10 of Coulter West on the pole. Connor Darnell, the 97 car, will start to his outside. Miles Jansen, 35, inside row number 2, next to your quick qualifier in the 21, Cameron Pritchard. Dean Garrity, the 15, inside row number 3. He'll be lined up next to the 41 of Jacob Adam. And then the 75 of Chase Swafford. And the 11 of Jeff Creamer will make up a row number 4. And on the back, in the 5 car, it's going to be J.P. Scheider. So it looks like we're going to have 2 heats. Everybody's going to the feature. Pace truck headed in already.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. It's going to spread out 2-3 wide here real quick. Through 1 and 2, down into 3 and 4. A little hiccup in the giddy up there. As Coulter West grabs the lead. He'll have it down the backstretch in front of Miles Jansen. Connor Darnell into that 3rd spot. Then Pritchard, Swafford, Garrity, Adam Creamer, and Scheider. Everybody right on top of one another. Scheider at the back here. Staying on the same straightaway, coming around. Going to be 5 to go this time. Battle for the lead, starting to heat up. Jansen got a good run out of 2. Goes into 3 and 4. Keeps the nose right there. West definitely knows that Miles is there, and I thought there was going to be contact there. Now there's contact here as Jansen's going to grab the lead. That's going to open things up. Here comes Pritchard. Here comes Swafford as West went from leading to 4th place. Real quick like. 2 to go this time. Now West on the outside, going to fight back and try to take 3rd, back away from Swafford. Swafford keeps the 75 locked in on the bottom. He's going to stay there. White flag in the air. Jansen out in front. Pritchard's going to run 2nd right now. That time Swafford went for the slider up the hill, and he made West move the car. That may open things up right here. It's going to be Jansen, Pritchard, Swafford, West. Then Creamer, Scheider, Adam, Darnell, and Garrity. So we'll get ready. Get down here for heat number 2's lineup. And this is what it'll look like when they roll off. Going to be the 04 of Tommy Scott on pole next to the 94 of Greg Leonard. The 01 of Ty Williams will sit next to the 4 car of Tyler Street in row number 2. Your 3rd row, the 24 Josh Whiteman inside. Joe Howe, the 43 on the outside. And back in the 4th row, the 44 of Grant Vickery inside. Terrell Wheeler, the 43 car on the outside. And shotgun on tonight's second and final heat race going to be the 19 of Ethan Greek. Mr. Fozzard, as the announcer, I can be impartial and say I do not disagree with that. But the green flag is in the air. Heat number 2 is underway. Front row got single file real quick. It's the row behind that, row number 2 now. They're going to sort it out all the way back through. It's going to be single file racing real fast here. Scott, Leonard, Street, Williams, Howe through the top 5. Whiteman, Wheeler, Greek, and Vickery rounding things out. We'll go close to the front. Tommy Scott trying to hang on to the lead, and he can't do it. Leonard slide job right there, and Leonard leads that lap. They're going to go right back at each other. Down the backstretch, contact. That's going to slow things up a little bit, open the door as Tommy Scott drops all the way back to the 4th spot. Car into the fence in 1 and 2. No cautions. That was Vickery. So that's going to change things up. It's actually Terrell Wheeler. That's going to change things up back there a little bit. But at the front, still going at it is Tyler Street now, reeling in the 94 car of Greg Leonard as they come to the 2 to go mark. And I think Street's just measuring him up right here. Now goes to the outside, and Leonard slams the door. Both cars clip the fence. That opens things up for Williams as Williams brings the 0-1 up to second. I think he's out of time here as we're on the white flag. It's going to be Greg Leonard to the checkers first. Ty Williams, Tyler Street, Joe Howe, and Tommy Scott in the top 5. Then Whiteman, Greek, Wheeler, and Vickery rounding the field out. So heats are over. And we know that these guys have a couple of minutes in the warm-up. I'm sure they're going to widen the track out just a little bit for us. So what we think we'll do real quick, so we'll give them about 60 seconds. We'll pay a bill, and we'll be right back. All right, you'll see those guys tomorrow night right here, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook, come by the Facebook page, the Dirt Racing Network. Like, share, and follow. If you're over on YouTube, Twitch, and Trovo, hit subscribe. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, make sure you say hi in the chat for us. $18 drivers for 30 laps. Out here working the track in, trying to widen it out, make it a couple of grooves. Looked like we were getting into that single file about 2/3 of the way up kind of situation on the track. This track can produce some really, really good racing. I've seen a lot of very competitive races from the top and bottom at this speedway. Not for sure how long they're going to let the drivers have the track. I think they really want to work it down, so we may have that full 2 minutes. I've only got one vote for where they're going to race next week, guys. Williams Grove or Cedar Lake, and they're leaving it up to the fan base tonight. So make sure you get your vote in. Hop in the chat. Tell us what you'd like to see next Sunday night for these guys. Trip down to Cedar Lake or a trip to Williams Grove? Well, so far that's 2 votes, and both are for Cedar Lake. So it looks like everybody's weighing into Cedar Lake right now. I prefer Williams Grove myself. That's a driver's track. It's very technical, and you really have to be on your game. All right, time to get down here on the grid and show you the lineup for tonight's 30-lap A main. It's going to be Miles Jansen and Greg Leonard on our front row. Really? Then it'll be Cameron Pritchard, Ty Williams in row 2, Chase Swafford, Tyler Street, the 3rd row, Coulter West and Joe Howe in the 4th row. Your 5th row, Jeff Creamer and Tommy Scott, J.P. Scheider and Josh Whiteman making up a row number 6. Jacob Adam, Ethan Greek in the 7th row, Connor Darnell and Terrell Wheeler, row number 8, and Dean Garrity and Grant Vickery making up the 9th and final row. 18 cars, 30 laps. Now we're starting to get some catch up here and there. I got 3 and 1, 2, 3. I got a 3 and 3 tie right now. 4 and 3 tie. I got a 4 to 3. It's not a tie. 4 to 3 right now. Cedar Lake is leading. Make sure you get your votes in. Drivers starting to roll off on the grid. Have a couple of pace laps to get things sorted out. Get everybody, make sure they're in the right order. Everybody's starting to chime in with Williams Grove. That's 4 out of the last 5. So 5 to 4 now in favor of the Grove. All right, ready to go green. 30 laps. Out of turn 4. Miles Jansen on the throttle. Green flag in the air. Through 1 and 2. Into 3, 4. Car wiggly down on the bottom. I think that's the 18 car. As we'll go to the top side. Battle for the lead. Jansen right along the fence. He loses the lead to Swafford. New leader on lap number 3. Chase Swafford, but Miles Jansen fighting back. They're too wide, too deep at the front. Jansen goes back to the lead. He's right through the middle of the track, finding a little bit of grip right there. He is going to be able to force himself to get out in front. Pushes the 35 out in front of the 75. Greg Leonard on the very top shelf. Around the cushion he goes. They'll come out of 4, and he almost got into Swafford right there. Pritchard staying close, keeping in touch with these guys. He's got a string of wins. I'm not sure who that's going to be on here, folks. We got a yellow flag. We don't have a red box for a yellow flag, though. Let's just go take a look. Oh, there's a car backwards right there. Was that was Connor Darnell that was backwards. Let's just rewind this real fast. I'd like to know what happened to Mr. Darnell. He's all by himself. He got a little bit of help. He got a tap in the back. That is how he got turned around. So, seven to 4 right now in favor of Williams Grove. So, appreciate you guys chiming in. All right, going to get them lined up 2 by 2. We're going to get ready to go back to the green. 24 laps to go. Jansen and Swafford at the front. Then Leonard and Pritchard. Street and Howe through your top 6.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. Around 3 and 4, and here comes Pritchard on the top side. He and Leonard get together, or Swafford, I mean. As Swafford tried to close the door a little late. I don't know if there was room up there for that, but Pritchard is absolutely killing the lip right now. He was making tons of time up right there. I got another car turned around here. I'm not sure who it is that got turned around. Might be Tommy Scott. Yeah, we're not sure who that is. It could be Tommy Scott. He seems to be having problems tonight. And Tommy Scott is out of this thing. So 17 cars still on the track with 22 laps to go. Only 8 laps in the books. Jansen, Leonard, Swafford, Pritchard, Street. And then Howe, Williams, Scheiderer, West, and Creamer in the top 10. About 8 laps from being halfway. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Thank you for getting in here and watching. I'm sure everybody's had a long weekend. Probably ready to go back to work on Monday morning, right? Well, if that don't start some chatter, I don't know what will. Green flag back in the air. Underway once again. Coming off the second caution, and Jansen through 1 and 2, grabs a pretty fair lead. Greg Leonard right behind. They're battling 3 wide behind that. As Pritchard goes around the top side, he got clipped a little bit. Cars backwards and inside. That's Chase Swafford. That's backwards right there. Looks like he is going to get the 75 rolling. We're going to stay under the green. Going to hope for a caution. He and Cameron Pritchard had contact once again, and now caution is out. Not what I thought it was for. So having a little bit of communication issues between the sim and our tracking software. But we're under our 3rd caution. 4 laps away. We've got drivers on pit road. I'm going to say... Well, I don't know what I'm going to say because Chase Swafford, Coulter, West are the 2. Swafford had, I think, a little bit of contact with Pritchard right there, as Pritchard was really rolling the top pretty good, and I think everybody was staying about a half a lane down, and when they come off the corner, they just came together.
Going green this time. We are not going green.
And I think that turned Swafford's car around. Well, I'm not race control, so I can't do that. That's mostly what this racing is these days, is controlled chaos. Down here, Greg Leonard. Look inside his car, get ready for this restart. All right. Ready for the green, and Jansen just paused for a second, and that's going to open things up. It's going to let Tyler Street work to the inside. They were stacked 4 wide for a split second right there. Everybody battling, trying to find that advantage. And we're going back here. That's Scheiderer. Scheiderer started pretty deep in this thing. He started about 11th or 12th, and he is now going to make his bid to stay in the top 4. Trying to hang with Street right there for 3rd. Top side is where it is at right now. Jansen's leading, going through the middle, but Greg Leonard off the top kissed the fence a little bit. That's going to slow he and Pritchard down. Now Pritchard's got it in the fence. Get back to the front because Street and Leonard are going at it for second. Now Scheiderer and Pritchard get together. Scheiderer's slide job went right across and grabbed the nose of the 21. The 21 into the fence and done. And that time we were kind of watching when it happened, but we will get back here. We're going to go back here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go here. We're going to go right to this spot. Up the hill, into the fence, and never could get the car back underneath him. So we saw that one happen. There was contact the corner before. But it's Jansen, Leonard, Street, Scheiderer, Creamer, Garrity, Whiteman, Williams, Wheeler, Vickery, Darnell, Howe, Adams, Swafford, and Greek. The 15 car still on the track. As Greek rolled into the pits right when I was calling his name. Maybe he's just trying to get something fixed on that car. We are just under the halfway point, so not really much in the way of extending on our caution periods. You see Coulter West car back there still sitting in the infield in turn number 3.
All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
Ethan Greek still sitting there on the back stretch. Pritchard, West, Scott. They are all in the pits. So it looks like the driver's probably going to Williams Grove unless we get a rash of Cedar Lake votes here in the next few minutes. 14 laps to go. It's not going to take long. There goes. There went J.P. Scheiderer. Scheiderer went into the pits.
All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green. All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So drivers all out of sorts right now. So we're going to wait and get this all sorted out. This is going to change the front of the field drastically because Jansen and Leonard now have the front row. Street and Creamer. Then it's Garrity. And Garrity had problems early in this, lap 1 or lap 2. And he went in, they got whatever it was fixed, and he's back on track. He's up here in the top 5. He's inside row 3 next to Josh Whiteman. Then Wheeler and Howe in that 4th row. As we get ready to go back to green this time. Lights are off around the speedway. Pace truck in. That time Leonard got a really good start on the high side. I thought Jansen would probably try to go earlier, hold him for just a second, and Leonard timed it perfectly. And now it's a dogfight at the front. They come around to 11 to go this time. Out of 3 and 4, not quite down to the 10 to go mark yet. And that time Greg Leonard leads the lap. And Leonard's starting to make the high side work as he starts to inch away from Miles Jansen. Now has it by about a car and a half. 9.5 laps to go. Leonard, Jansen, Street is third. Creamer up to fourth. Whiteman is fifth. It's a mad dash behind that. Howell clipped the fence, and that's going to open things up for Scheider. Scheider was inside the top 5, went to the back. So he had to leave the track for something. Now coming back, and Scheider is 8th. He's going to the top shelf. 8 laps to go. And they're 2 wide in front of him. Swafford is right there. Swafford battling with Darnell. Now has it inside almost 3 wide. Going through 3 and 4. This is a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. As it looks like Scheider is going to go around him on the top side. Keeps the right rear right up against the fence, and he moves into the 6th spot. Go back to the front. Jansen losing touch with Leonard. Leonard is starting to gap these guys. He's a full second out in front. Wave a lap from the starter. Shows them the 5 to go signal. Jansen and Street still 2 and 3. Creamer in the 4th spot. Caution once again. This time I think Dean Garrity is going to be the one that we're going to go watch. The 15 car. That car is just not right. And he may be trying to get into the pits or something down here. Oh, he just looped the car. That was right in front of your leader. So lucky we didn't have a big accident there, as we're going to have 4 to go when we take the green. Leonard, Jansen, Street, Creamer, Whiteman, Scheider. Be the top 6. So it'll be single file for the restart. Four laps remaining. Leonard going to bring him right down to the inside line here and try to use that moisture to get a launch, and he does exactly that. Good start for the 94 car. Creamer pulled to the inside on Street. He's still there going into 3 and 4. Can he hang on to the bottom? Or will Street use the momentum off the top? And he does. Move Street back to 3rd. Here comes Scheider. Slide job across the nose of Whiteman. Puts him up to the 5th spot. 2 laps to go. Greg Leonard barely out in front of Miles Jansen. Jansen may be in striking distance to go after a slider. He is going to have to get close right here, and I don't think he's going to be able to. White flag in the air. One more time around. Greg Leonard into 3 and 4, protects the inside line. No sliders coming. He's going to win tonight at Lanier. Jansen 2nd. And I don't know. I think Street was 3rd. And I don't think we're going to get... that was close. 2 100ths of a second. We'll see if Tyler Street can bring that thing around onto the front stretch for us. Creamer and Scheider 4th and 5th, and that was all the contact that we saw down there. As Tyler Street couldn't roll the 4 car. Back around. He'll bring it back out, bring it to the front stretch for us so we can talk to him. Just waiting for the drivers to join us in. There's Tyler Street right there. Let's get him in here, chat with him. Drives the 4 car. He comes home 3rd tonight. Tyler Street, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, looked like a wild finish there. We actually were coming back to you guys when all that started. What happened coming out of 4 on the last lap?
Did a terrible line in 1 and 2, and then I messed myself up. Next thing I know we were 3 wide going down the backstretch, and I saw JP just throw the slider in it, and I can't remember who it was that was next to me on
Kramer.
the inside. But he was right on the inside of me, and I just shot the gap in between. I had enough of a run off the top that I just shot through the gap and made it work. So I don't know how it made it work and stuck, but I know we were all stuck against each other as we crossed the finish line.
Well, I gave it to you by 2/100ths of a second. Tough little track, but it looked like you could really run through the middle there, and some of the guys are finding speed on the top. 4-car was best. Where at tonight?
In the beginning, it was right there in the middle, but at the end, man, it seemed like they went back to the top. No, I didn't really have anything good for up top. It was either too tight or I was just spinning the tires the whole entire time, so I didn't really have a good setup at the end, but it was better during the beginning.
Well, an awesome run. I'm sure you got some thank yous before we let you get out of here.
I got to thank Red Line Race Design, One Wish Foundation, Finish Line Repair, and I got to thank Terrell for putting on this league. This league's fun, and it's getting new guys in here every week to be a battle for the win. So it's been really cool.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
Thank you.
Tyler Street finishing in the third spot. Let's move on and talk to our second place driver. It's Miles Jansen. He is here with us. Miles, how you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Not too bad. Tough run tonight. You led a lot of this thing, and then 94 car found his way around you on the top. Just not comfortable up there tonight?
No, I'm comfortable on the top. I found the bottom in warm-ups, and I was faster than everybody by a tenth running that line, so I tried to make that line work just a little bit too – tried to make it work just a little too long, and Greg ended up getting around me on the top, and then I couldn't figure out a way back around him. He had the better line, and I couldn't figure out a faster line than him until it was too late.
Well, still a great run, second place tonight. I'm sure, after some of the earlier runs this year, that starting to show some momentum in 35 has got to make you feel good for the last couple of races of the season.
Yeah, I definitely want to secure the at least third in points, sitting fourth right now. I don't know how after tonight's going to look, but, just taking it night by night, and we've had a couple bad luck nights, but we've been seem to be able to bounce back pretty good. I think the last 3 weeks in a row, I've gone to the back and then came back up to at least the top 5. But yeah, it's been a struggle this season. It's definitely hasn't been one of my best highlights when it comes to consistency.
Well, a great run nonetheless. We're going to let you get some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you get out of here tonight.
Yep, I just want to thank Ryback Companies and Box 3 Media.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and good luck tomorrow night.
Absolutely, thank you.
Miles Jansen finishes second. And now we can move on, talk to tonight's winner, the 94 car. Got a little bit of a bent wing on the top. I don't know where that came from, but a good run nonetheless. He found his way around the top side. Greg Leonard picking up the win tonight, man. How'd you do it?
Oh, we made it after last week's catastrophe of a race with my finish last week. We needed this, and I didn't know if we was going to be able to get Miles or not. But I found a little slider line about halfway through, and the car felt good, and just the driver just had to hang on to the wheel and keep it out of the fence. And once I found that, and I knew how the car felt, I knew we had a pretty good shot, and we had a pretty good race going on with Miles there for a few laps. And that last yellow flag, I did not want to see it, and with that restart, but we ended up pulling it off, and turned out to be a pretty good night.
Well, you were third in the points coming in, and you were quite a ways back, but Kramer and Pritchard had a lot of trouble, and Titan Vanderwert not here tonight. That should help you out with 2 races to go. Chance of 94 could come up and steal this title.
We're going to give it our best shot. Try not to watch the points too much, and get ourselves worked up. Just come out here and race each race like it's the first one, and try to just do the best we can and just stay consistent. We've been pretty close, several races, and finally tonight we were able to pull the hammer and put her on top.
Well, an awesome run. I'm sure you got some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you celebrate.
Yeah, man, I want to thank all the guys over at Dirty South Sim Racing, Dirty South, our Discord and everything. We all work hard. Everybody works together. We bounce ideas off each other. I want to thank Dean Gertie for all the setups that he does. He puts in a lot of time and effort. Y'all for putting the race on, for broadcasting the race. Terrell for, putting the race on, and Redline Racing Graphics for the awesome wrap jobs.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
Thank you, sir.
Greg Leonard picking up the win tonight. We are going to pass along the information. We're going to see what they say. About next week. We're going to see what race control, what the officials say about where we're going to go next week. But in the meantime, while we wait for that, let's show you the finishing order. Leonard wins it, Jensen second, Street third, then Creamer locked in a heated battle right there at the very end with Tyler Street. They came across pretty much touching side by side, and JP Scheider was right in the middle of that mix as well, so he finishes fifth. Pritchard recovering after going to the back late in this one with about 13 to go. He went to about 16th place, and he comes home sixth, so he'll salvage a few points. He may have a slim lead going into next week. Connor Darnell 7th, Josh Whiteman was 8th, Joe Howe 9th, Chase Wofford 10th, Jacob Adam in 11th, Terrell Wheeler 12th, 13th to Ty Williams, Ethan Greek in 14th, 15th was Grant Vickery, Dean Garrity in 16th, Coulter West 17th, and Tommy Scott rounded out the field tonight. Hard charger for the evening. Someone just asked me about that, and I believe that's going to be Connor Darnell. He picked up 8 spots. He started 15th and finishes 7th. So I didn't get a word back from Mr. Wheeler yet, but I have a feeling he said he would let the fans choose, so I think we're going to be at Williams Grove next week. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget about tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. DSRL Monday Night Thunder, 360 Wing Sprint Cars. They are at Lanier. It looks like you guys, they will be, because he is thumbs up in the thank yous. And thanks all the fans for voting. But that's tomorrow night, and then the 360 Wingless Cars will follow that. We'll be back for doubleheader on Wednesday, and then the single show on Thursday before we come back around next week and have this one here at Williams Grove. Don't know where the Midwest Dirt guys are. I know they had the weekend off for the holiday, but they'll be back next week as well. You guys, always fun. If you watched the Paul Nichols Memorial, thank you for doing that and being part of the chat. That was a lot of fun all night long. Not really much in the way of drama, just a good time. It's what we try to put on for you guys, so thank you very much. But for Dominic Santina, Zach Krieger, Cody Olson, Patrick Colucci, and myself here at the Dirt Racing Network, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show.